Is it just me, or does it feel like a canon event? That at some point in everyone's natural hair journey, you encounter a setback after trusting a stylist. That's not to say that stylists are bad, but there's certainly a knowledge gap when it comes to natural hair, and especially fine natural hair. If you didn't see my last video, please check it out, but this is what I'm left with after going to a stylist. And this is after several years of successfully maintaining my own hair. Well, what's done is done, and I'm sick of looking at it, so let's fix it. So first I did an Olaplex 3 Plus treatment on my hair. My plan was to blow out my hair, so I wanted to make sure I had as much strength as possible before doing that. I've used the original number 3 before, and I've liked it a lot, and this one worked well too. It seemed a bit more moisturizing and had more slip, which was nice. I want to try it again, but after doing a chelating treatment, and to see if that works better. Let me know if that's something you're interested in seeing. The instructions said to leave it in for about 3 minutes, so after I finished working it through, I left it in my hair for about 3 to 5 minutes before washing it out. Afterward, I washed my hair thoroughly. So first I used a moisturizing shampoo. This time I was using the Giovanni Ultra Moist. I've been using this shampoo for a while and I really enjoy it. I typically do about 2 washes with it, and on the second wash I make sure I thoroughly get it from root to tip and make sure I'm working it through all of my hair, and even do some light detangling with it as well. After rinsing that out, I followed with the matching conditioner, the Ultra Moist conditioner, and I added a few pumps of the Inner Sense Color Radiance. That one's not really my favorite anymore, but it's something I'm just using up. Once I rinsed this out, my camera died, but I just put my hair into about 8 sections as I was preparing to blow it out with my RevAir. I also should mention that I used the Platinum Luxe leave-in in my hair before the blowout. This served as not only my leave-in, but also my heat protectant. I noticed that if you use too many products or too heavy of a product on your hair, it can make it pretty stiff when using the RevAir. So I left it at just this one before twisting my hair into the Bantu knots that you see. So after setting up the RevAir, I turned it on to tension setting of 7 and used the lowest heat setting. Here I am just going section by section. I go ahead and put the nozzle on the knot and let it just release into the hose. I let it sit there for about 30 seconds or so, and then I gently move it around to make sure I'm getting the roots dry. At that point, I check for dryness, and if it's not dry enough, I go ahead and put the nozzle back down to my roots. In the last 10 seconds or so, I go ahead and turn the heat up to the second higher setting, but no longer than about 10 seconds because we don't want heat damage. I notice doing this gives me a smoother finish. That helps when it comes to cutting the ends. And you'll just see here me going section by section. I usually like to work from the bottom to the top, and I just clip the hair out of the way as I go. Now that everything's been blown out, I'm headed into the cut. So for this method, I'm following a method from a channel, I believe it's called Deeper Than Hair TV. I really like this video and I'll link it below. I've been using it for probably the last 2.5, almost 3 years to trim my hair on a blown out state. I highly recommend it, and my hair was definitely flourishing with this method prior to this haircut. You'll see here I start at the top trimming, then I grab sections on the sides and line them up to trim hair to that same length. And I'm measuring with that initial section of hair to make sure that everything's even before cutting. I end with the bottom of my hair, which was drastically longer and disconnected from the middle section of my hair. So I did cut off a good amount there, though I anticipated I'll probably need to cut off more after I revert my hair to a curly state. Afterwards, I had my husband come behind me and check. He usually catches any stragglers or unevenness that I may not have seen, just because that's hard to see in the mirror sometimes. He confirmed that I had gotten most of it, but still helped me clean up some of it. So here at the end, this is what I'm left with after trimming off those jagged split ends, fixing anything uneven or disconnected. There's still some that's left, but I didn't want to go too far without seeing my hair in its curly state before cutting more. You'll see in the pictures, even though I did my best to even things out, there's a spot where my hair just doesn't connect at all. It's basically a hole, and I debated about cutting off more, but I'd already lost over 4 inches in various parts of my hair, so I didn't want to go any further at this point. I've decided I can live with that gap and just grow it out. I'll just be sure to pay special attention to it and trim it as needed if I notice any breakage or anything unusual going on. So that takes care of this process, or this point in the process. If you're curious about the next stage, check out the next video. I'll be washing my hair, reverting it back to curly, which is how I wear it about 90 to 95% of the time, and then I'll be doing a curly cut on my styled hair. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.